What's up to all of my queens of a more mature age? I am the Eva Monroe. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on my channel today for this very special, much requested video. Queen, give up the deets on the skincare. Queen, what do you do for your skin? So since it is getting ready to be summertime, and you guys know, like all winter long, you might be in the office and you may never smell anything. And then in summertime, that little onion smell, it starts to get real strong in the office. And it's really a time of year that some of us or some people really struggle with. So today I'm going to share with you guys some of my skincare tips, some of my tips that I use to stay smelling fresh and clean all day. We're going to talk about the face and the body today. So this is a much requested video. So you guys, I have been reluctant to share my facial skincare routine because it's so boring. Like I watch videos sometimes where girls who are in their 20s and 30s, they're doing like 30 steps. And I'm like, okay, either my skincare routine is really lacking or they doing the most. Because when I was 20, I didn't use wrinkle cream, but you know, it's the thing to do these days. I've even seen my son use a wrinkle cream, so I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to share my tips and tricks with you guys today. So first I'm going to start with my body, and I have some things that, you know, I use that I have actually used for years. I have never really deviated from the way that I shower. And I love to shower. I love to shower and I love to bathe. It's just something that I totally enjoy doing. Like it could be a hobby of mine. But a few years ago, about 4 years ago, I started to suffer from body acne. And I couldn't figure out where it was coming from because I had never had that issue before. I would see pictures of it and hear people talk about it. I never knew how it occurred. I just wasn't familiar with it. So I thought that it was hormones. I chalked it up to that because, you know, I'm a woman of a more mature age. My hormones are getting out of control these days. Ask my husband. But 4 years ago, I became a naturalista. Okay. And I started doing wash and goes. And if you're a naturalista, you know what that is. You slather your hair down in conditioner. I would wake up in the morning before I had my coffee. I would put a ton of conditioner in my hair, like some type of co-wash conditioner or something like that. And then I would get in the shower. I would shower. And the last thing I would do before I got out of the shower was rinse the conditioner out of my hair. Ladies, I learned that was where my body acne was coming from because conditioner clogs your pores. And so I was just rinsing it off and getting out of the shower. It was still all down the back of me, my upper back, on the backs of my arms and the backs of my thighs. So once I stopped doing that, now I get in the shower. If I'm going to be doing a conditioning treatment or something like that, I do that immediately, rinse it out, and then I cleanse my skin. So if you're struggling from body acne and you're guilty of rinsing your hair right before you get out of the shower, that's something you really may want to think about. Now, my favorite thing to use in the shower is these little babies right here. And ladies, this is a new discovery for me. Like I would say probably 2 years. I used to see these hanging in the bath and body section. And I would think, now who is showering with gloves on? And how are you going to wash your hands if you have gloves on in the shower? Oh my God. I have turned my husband onto these. My husband is addicted to these. When his get right, he's like, I need a new pair of shower gloves. These are the business. And I feel like my son was on to the whole using hand thing years ago because I remember when he was a little boy, I would go in the bathroom. I'd be like, did you shower? He'd say, yeah. I'm like, why is your washcloth dry? And he would be like, because I use my hands. I'm like, use your hands. But I mean, he didn't have shower gloves, but he was on to something because there's nothing greater than showering with these. Not only can you reach everything, you don't miss anything. You get all the crevices and the creases. These have an exfoliating thing going on because they're kind of rough. And so they exfoliate your skin. These are life. And I will never be without these. but don't use them on your vajayjay because they're rough. Now, now I told you guys in my Why You May Not Smell Good video, I'm a Dove girl. Now I have 1,000,002 scented body washes. I do not use those on my lady parts because they're too harsh. Like those things that you get from Bath and Body Works. Don't use those on your lady parts, ladies. You just need a mild, little teeny bit of mild soap, but warm water, lukewarm water. And that's it. You know, stop washing away the good stuff in your vajayjay. I say this all the time. It has a smell, and that just, it is what it is. So, you know, the smell can be really, really bad. And if it's really, really bad, then you know you need to go see a doctor. You have a problem. But if it's just a normal vajayjay smell, men need to understand and realize that it doesn't smell like roses down there. It was not meant to smell that way, because how else are we going to attract them? And any grown men, real men that you talk to, they don't like it when women try to perfume that and get rid of that thing that draws them in anyway. So just a little piece of advice. So I am Dove, pure Dove. Now I sent my husband on the Sam's Dove unscented mission, and somehow he came home with blue fig and orange blossom. So I'm going to use this, but when it's done, I simply use plain Dove on the body. Now, after I shower about 3 nights a week, this is a secret of mine. I'm getting ready to let y'all in on this. Someone once told me that they said, I don't like Megan Good. And I was like, what? Who could not like Megan Good? And he said, because she's always greasy. And I was like, she's always greasy. And the same person said, and you know what? You're always greasy too. I'm always greasy. But you know what? I think that it has helped me. It has kept me from wrinkling. I am always greasy. After I get out of the shower 3 nights a week, I slather my body down in this business right here. If you don't know what this is 100% pure shea butter, raw shea butter. And I use this at night because it has a smell. It has like a woody smell to it. So I don't like that to clash with my fragrance during the day. So I do my treatments with this at night. I feel like this has kept my skin tight. It's kept it nice and shiny and glowing. Now I do not put this on my face because whenever I have tried to, it is just too thick for my face and it breaks me out. But it goes from here on down. All this area up in here, the arms, the hands, the feet. I grease myself down like a fish before I get in bed 3 nights out of the week. Now, the nights that I don't use that before I go to bed, I use Eucerin. And I told you guys before, I'm a Eucerin girl. I swear by this. I mix this with my fragrances. I mix it with fragrance oils. I slather myself down with this at night. I like to do my moisturizing at night because I also sleep with a mister, like a humidifier, just nearly like right in my face. And so I believe that's when it gets an opportunity to soak into your skin and, you know, repair you and do all those great things at night. And you don't have to worry about it like getting all over your clothes and things like that. So I excessively moisturize my skin at night before I go to bed. So that is what I do for the body. Now, as far as summertime and perspiring and things like that. So I'm going to tell you guys something, and don't tell anyone. Don't share this with any of my non-subscribers. They don't need to know this. I used to have a little underarm sweaty problem. I did. And I know my husband sometimes is like, girl, do you have to tell the people everything? But I've always been a really clean woman. So I would shower, I would shave my armpits, I would apply deodorant, and I could never figure out like why like an hour later I'm like kind of musty. So I would spend like my entire day obsessing over it and reapplying my deodorant or going into the bathroom and washing under my underarms, and then immediately it would be right back. And it was so embarrassing for me. So there are a few things that I figured out were my problem. The first thing that was my problem was I was using stuff like this: Dove and Secret antiperspirant. It didn't work for me. Secret was telling all my business. Dove was acting like a pigeon. I mean, these things did not work for me. And I could apply as many layers of them as I wanted to. They never worked for me. That was my first problem. My second problem was the fact that certain materials were really making me sweat and holding odor. So I figured out that I have to use a deodorant. Now I'm looking for my Native. A natural deodorant actually works the best for me, but Native is number one. And I just started using Native, and I thought I brought it out here with me, but I did not. They sell it at Walgreens. They sell it at Walmart. It's a little bit pricey, but it actually works the best for me. In the summertime, when I'm wearing shirts like this, like in the spring and summer, like this, like, what is it, like kind of polyester or rayon type fabric, which I know is going to make me sweat. This is my number one trick, and this works so good, and people don't have to know about this. They don't have to be in your business, but I take a panty liner and I stick it in the inside of my shirt so that my armpit is actually not touching my shirt, but it's on the panty liner, which is soaking up the smell. Okay, these are no good every day in your panties, but they work wonders for your armpits. And I say they're no good for your panties because you shouldn't use panty liners every day. Like, you can't breathe down there. So don't use these in your panties every day. Don't be addicted to these. I used to be addicted to panty liners too. So this is I love using this. Even blazers, like if I'm wearing a blazer and I have like a cami or a tank top or something under it, and the blazer has a silk lining, I will put this in the armpit of the blazer. So nobody's going to see it unless you like showing it to everybody. But this really soaks up smell and sweat and everything, and it keeps it from getting on your clothes, and it keeps you from stinking. So a good natural deodorant like Native, good panty liner. A lot of people like to use baking soda. Another thing that really worked for me, these two main things right here. Number one, I changed up my diet because bad stuff gives you an underarm odor. So if you start adding more fruits and vegetables and natural foods to your diet, I talked about this before, it automatically helps you with body odor. So definitely that. And applying deodorant at night as well. So especially with Native, like I will put Native on at night, and it really does wonders. Like it gets an opportunity to get all in your pores or something, I guess. So if you are against using deodorant and all that, I get it. I'm just sharing with you guys my tips that I do. Now, on to the face. All right, so at night, when I take my makeup off, the way that I take my makeup off is I have 2 steps to taking my makeup off because it is the most important thing ever. You want to take every stitch, every iota of makeup off, because if you don't, you're going to suffer from breakouts and acne and all that type of stuff because your pores are going to get clogged. You're going to have blackheads. I take coconut oil, and this is just pure coconut oil. And actually, I keep filling this container up, but I actually get the raw, uncut coconut oil. We buy that from the health food store, and I just fill this up whenever it runs out. I take this and I slather it all over my face. I mean, it makes my face look like glass. I slather it all over my face and I let it sit, and I like to do it too because it's such a mess, but I let it just melt the layers of makeup off. I mean, not layers because I don't wear layers of makeup, but I just let it melt the makeup off. And then I use these, and these are Oil of Olay makeup remover wipes. So I go to the bathroom and I wet these. These have a little soap in them. I wet them and I get all the makeup off. And when this is not brown or tan or purple from my eyeshadow anymore, then I'm on to cleansing my skin, because that's just the makeup removal process, which is the most important part to me. So I use Philosophy Purity, and I have used this since the beginning of time. I want to make sure you guys can see that. Philosophy Purity. I love this. This is so amazing. This is the only thing that I can cleanse my skin with that does not break me out. And it does an awesome job of getting the rest of the makeup that I might have missed. I use that, and I use this little thing here, which also has like a slight like exfoliating type thing. It's sort of rough. And I just cleanse my face. I like to spend 5 minutes doing it because I like to make sure that my face is 100% clean. So these two things right here, I swear by. If I didn't have any of this other stuff, I would need to have these. And then after I have cleansed my face, I will just slightly blot it, and I spray my face with Mario Badescu's Rosewater. I love this. This can also be used as a setting spray. It can be used to like just give yourself a good refreshing during the day when it's hot outside. I love this. I love this. I love this. So I use this. And then I mosey on into here and I get what's called my bedtime box. These are all my special products that I use on my skin. These are the only products that I use on my skin. So first, I like to use Rock's Deep Wrinkle Night Cream. And I use that around here, and I use that like on my forehead. And I rub it in, you know, really good. I let it dry. The next step I use is Mario Badescu's Hyaluronic Eye Cream. I like this for many different reasons. This is actually the only eye cream that I feel I really notice a difference with. I want you guys we got to find a better way to do this lighting thing. Like my light is on blast in here, but otherwise it looks extremely dark. So this is Mario Badescu's Hyaluronic Eye Cream. Why do I like this? I like this so much because not only does it work for fine lines and wrinkles, but if you have some puffiness under here, this is amazing at getting rid of the puffiness under your eyes. And so I have been using this for probably about 2 years now, and I refuse to use anything else. I love this for an under eye cream. Now, in the wintertime, before I go to bed at night, in the wintertime, I use Mario Badescu's Protein Night Cream. This is just terrible. Like I had the sun in this joint. Mario Badescu's Protein Night Cream. This is so thick, but when I wake up in the morning, I'm still so nice and moist and my skin is glowing, and I absolutely adore this. This is so good. Why do I use this in the wintertime? I use it in the wintertime because in the wintertime, I'm extremely dry. In the summertime, I'm extremely greasy. So in the wintertime, before I go to bed, I slather my face down in Protein Night Cream. Now, in the summertime, before I go to bed, you guys know this is my day one, my A1, and it is Pond's. I also use Pond's under my makeup, like in the winter, spring, summer, fall, whatever. This is definitely, it works. It works for me. I absolutely adore Pond's. It's cheap and it works. I get the biggest jar I can find, and every time it runs out or before it runs out, I go and replace it. Now, when I have applied all of my moisturizers, then I like to use this little roly thing. And sometimes after I do my cleansing, my skincare routine, I will take a little bit of oil. And this is quite a few things in here. I almost forgot about this. So this is like, of course, this was sweet almond oil, but I added some Heliocrysum oil. There's some, I think, what's the word? There's some eucalyptus oil. There are many different oils in here that help with tightening up the skin and removing wrinkles and things like that. So I will put that on, a little bit of that on. And then I take this, I will either use this and just, like massage the stress of the day away out of my face, or I just do a good old knuckle massage, which works wonders for me, because before I started doing that, sometimes I would notice that some days I would wake up and I would look like hell. I mean, I'm just being honest. And I didn't realize that stress really can take a toll on your face. And so when I started doing a nice relaxing knuckle massage or using this little thing at night, I realized that it really does help. It really helps. It gets the blood circulating and flowing in your face, and it works amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Those are most of the things, those are all of the things that I do to take care of my skin. So thank you so much for joining me today. Until I see you again, be blessed and